Hello, people. It is week 6. Today, what we're discussing is Thomas Jefferson Monticello. Um, Usually, when we think about famous presidential places, usually what comes to mind is George Washington, Mount Vernon, Andrew Jackson, the Hermitage, and James Madison Montpelier, which are all fascinating places. Me myself has been to Andrew Jackson, the Hermitage several times since I lived in Nashville, Tennessee. Look very fascinating stuff. But one place come in mind of a famous presidential house is Thomas Jefferson Monticello. There's a lot of good, I'll say, a lot of positive, negatives to talk about Thomas Jefferson Monticello. I think the positive side is seeing more of, his famous residence is a real famous historical landmark of the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, and that's his personal residency. The negative side is to be personally honest, not to make it a racial thing, but just to be honest, it was a slave plantation because Thomas Jefferson was on slaves, including Sammy Helens, which had relationships with, which I'll get to later on. But it's a very fascinating place, as well. Um, I would say the location of Monticello is located in Albemarle County near Charlesville, Virginia. It was built in 1772. And what's fascinating at that time in 1772 is that, this was like 3 years before the start of the American Revolutionary War that will take place in Lexington, Concord. About 4 years, the signing of the Declaration of Independence, where, of course, Thomas Jefferson was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, which went through July 4th, 1776. So the time when Monticello was built, it was, before the Revolutionary War. So that's another fascinating thing in that time period. Um, Basically, the Thomas Jefferson Foundation, which was established in 1923, basically the house, his place, Monticello, was sold by his nephew Jefferson Monroe Levy. When he sold it to Thomas Jefferson Foundation in 1923. The main thing of the site of Monticello, I would say, is that is given a historical view of Thomas Jefferson House itself. Um, like the website of www.monticello.org has different sections of information regarding Monticello. Um, that includes Thomas Jefferson, slavery, exhibitions, events, and house and gardens. The overall theme of Monticello, as I mentioned, um, can describe talking about Jefferson's life living at Monticello during his lifetime. Um, you have a website, a section of a website called Jefferson Slavery that mentioned about, they have a saying that Jefferson mentioned that all men was created equal, but he enslaved more than 600 people over the course of his life. So basically what it's saying that even Jefferson said all men was created equal, but he still was a slave owner, and he basically owned many slaves. And so it's basically, you can kind of say it was, whereas Jefferson as being, the hypocrisy, being a hypocrite. You're saying that saying that you all make a great equal, but you own more than 600 slaves. But and the section had different articles regarding Jefferson's slavery, including Jefferson's attitudes towards slavery, the practice of slavery at Monticello, the business of slavery at Monticello, and Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings, a brief account. These articles explain Thomas Jefferson's different viewpoints on slavery and slaves at Monticello. There's another section on the website that's called Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings, where we had a multiracial affair with slave Sally Hemings, where it was speculated that he fathered 6 children with her, and 4 of them survived during adulthood. While Hemings was in Paris, she got her freedom, but she wasn't a domestic servant, but she got her freedom, but she knows she negotiated with Jefferson to be re-enslaved at Monticello in exchange for uh, privileges for our unborn children, where Jefferson would freedom once they was grown. Uh, I would say possible educational value and outcomes of if people take the future of Monticello. I think what most people take onto Monticello is basically just learn about not only his house Monticello, but learn about Thomas Jefferson himself, living there, the experience with not just him, with his family, slaves, and just what was the day like with Jefferson living there. I would personally say what people would get an educational outcome, so you'll learn everything, especially the history of Jefferson, and how experience, the house, like the plantation house slaves. So it's like similar mentioned to Andrew Jackson, the Hermitage. Well, I've been to Hermitage a couple of times. When I went there, they have a section you go inside to see all his stuff, like things he wore, he wore, what his wife wore. Saw his house, see where the slaves were at, where they work at, where they live. So you basically get the whole viewpoint of Jefferson daily life living at Monticello, I would say. Um, but Monticello is a very fascinating place, as I mentioned, positive and negative. Positive as being a historical base and where he lived. Negative, he owned slaves. He was a slave owner. There, he had a motivational affair with Sally Hammond. His father's cheering on her. So, I think if you were a person that visited Monticello would get basically the idea of what his life was like. So that's what I would say. I think it's a very fascinating. Tom is a very fascinating person indeed, and I think it's a very good tour attraction. Even myself, looking forward to visiting one day. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Y'all have a good day.